You have to stay committed to something before you see change. That's why we've got to wrap ourselves around new believers in the faith. Why? Because they may just come to the Lord, but what happens a whole lot of times is the enemy brings a whole lot of temptation, brings a whole lot of their past against them to try to pull them back. And just the thing, they already have God on the inside of them to give them victory over that. But in that moment, in that weak young stage, they can't see themselves getting past that past relationship or that temptation or that bottle or that club or that place they were involved in or a part of. So what has to happen is if they stay with God long enough and stay committed. That's why some of us are sitting here today. It's not because we were any better than the person next to us. It's not because we didn't have any trials or temptations. It's not because there weren't areas and times in our life where we didn't feel like touching the sin or falling in a particular area. It's that even in the midst of those times, we stayed committed to God. And after a while, as you stay committed, somehow God begins to get you spiritually in shape, so that when that thing comes around the next time, you don't have to yield to that particular thing. But the key is commitment and consistency. It's the same thing with going to the gym physically. Many times we say we're going to do it, but before the end of January is over, we have dropped off and all they're doing is taking our money. But God is not like that. God is, if you sow it, you're going to reap it. But a lot of times we want to reap stuff that we haven't sown into. If you sow in the prayer, you're going to reap the benefits of what prayer offers. If you sow in the worship, you're going to reap the benefit of what worship offers. If you sow into the heavens or into the kingdom of God in your tithe, you're going to get the benefit of what tithe produces. If you sow into simply sanctification and the word of God, you'll get the benefit out of the thing that you are sowing into. It requires commitment. Galatians chapter 6, verse number 9. Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we will reap if we don't faint, or if we don't lose heart or don't give up. After you've done all to stand, the Apostle Paul says, stay committed. Continue to stand. Don't go back. Don't give up. You got to make a declaration staying spiritually fit in this next year. One thing I'm not doing is I ain't leaving God. I may leave him. I may leave her. I may leave that place, but I'm not leaving